Hey everyone, welcome back to another lesson. In this one, we're going to talk about DocStrings, a very useful Python tool to document your functions to make it easier for everybody else to understand it, especially if you are going to work in a environment where you are going to be sharing code with other people, and you want to make sure that the functions that you create, for example, are easily understandable and can be understood by everybody else. You want to definitely use docstring. So the docstring essentially is a way for you to provide some instructions for your code, and this is something that you see all the time in Python as well. So for example, if I hover on the input and if I just hold my mouse on it, it's going to tell me exactly, what is this about. Again, I can read a string from standard input and all that stuff. So all of this is actually something that you can create for your own functions as well. And again, it's extremely useful if you are creating a lot of functions and you just want to kind of make sure that other people can understand it, but at the same time, it's just a guide for yourself as well to just remember what is this whole thing about. Especially useful because it's different from commenting, because you could just comment and say first and last name. But the reason that we don't do, it's more useful to do it with the docstring, is that if you actually create this function in a different Python file and you want to import it in a different Python program or a different Python script, that you're not going to be able to import the comments, right? You're not going to be able to see the comments. So just hovering on the function can allow you to actually see what this function is about and what it does, and that's really, really useful. For example, again, same thing for the print. If I hover on it, it's going to tell me exactly what this thing does. So you can actually do the same thing for your own functions. And the way you do this is you use a docstring. So the way this works is that you want to create 3 quotation marks for the start and 3 for the end. So if you do this, again, 3 in between, 3 for the start and 3 for the end, and anything else that you add in between, like everything, a text that you add in between, as you see, becomes orange. Now this doesn't become code, and you can just add any structures. For this case, in this case, I'm going to say it formats the name and, or let's say first name and last name in with uppercase letter. So again, just something like that, whatever. Now if I save this, and again, if I hover on this, as you see, it's going to show me the text I just added. One of the things you want to remember when it comes to adding a docstring is that you want to add it the first thing under the the function definition. So when you define a function, the first thing you want to add is the docstring. If you just add it anywhere else, it's just not going to work. So if you want to add some guidance on the functions that you're creating, whether for your future self or if you work in an environment that you need to document everything correctly, you can use the docstring. Now, one of the things you want to remember is that you can actually use docstring as a comment too. So you can just create a couple of them and just add, hey, this is a comment, and you can just add more and more and more, just like that, like multi-line comments essentially. So that's something you can do as well. Now, I don't recommend it. Docstrings are just best used when you want to just give some instructions to a variable or an input or like a function, and you can actually multi-line it, by the way. And there you go. So you can just multi-line it like this, and if you save it, and again, if I hover on it, it's just going to show it nice and cleanly. So again, you can multi-line it, but I don't recommend using docstring for comments. It's just not the best way to go about it. The way you want to go about it is you just want to add your comment, okay, and just highlight the whole thing and do it like that. You want to hold Control and you want to press the /, and just like that, it turns it to a comment. So just like that, guys, you can just turn it into a comment. I don't recommend using it for a comment, but again, it's something I recommend if you want to document your functions and make sure that it provides some sort of a guidance to whoever is going to call it and use it. So that's pretty much it. I just wanted to kind of point out this is another useful feature in Python that you can implement. Let me know if you have any questions about this, guys. If not, I'll see you in the next lesson.